Hi Ian, really great to meet up with you on Tuesday, pal. The finer points for the session really were obviously trying to increase a bit more consistency with your strike, and obviously there was quite a bit of left to right going on as well. And we discovered as the session went on, this was down to a couple of things. The first part was that in your backswing, we're quite a big shift away from the target, and then on your downswing not enough weight going back to your left hand side, which caused, like I say, on your better strikes, it caused so a lot of left to right shots, not a lot of power, not a lot of height, and then in some severe cases a lot of thins and even the odd top shot as well. We also noticed as well that there was quite a lack of power in the shot, and that mostly came down to the fact that you really struggled to get any length to your backswing, so your left arm didn't travel very far, really limiting the amount of power that you could create. If we just take this first video back here, this is one of the first swings that I took from the day, and we can see straight away weight is already behind the ball, or your position should I say is already quite far behind the ball. So that upper swing centre that we talked about, the ball position's quite far forward. And if we just take this back, and you can see there, if I just take that back to the point that you start swinging forward, you can see here there's quite a bit of flex left in that right leg, not a lot of hip turn, and you can still see the majority of your belt, and the left arm, the left hand should I say, gets about parallel with the floor at most. And we can see the club head's not travelled far at all. Like I said, the weight's gone over to the right hand side, and that really limited the amount that you could do with the shot. Now if we look at the one in the middle, we talked about using Grant weight as a really good model for you. And if we just take Grant back here, you can see that the right leg straightens in the backswing, which allows his hips to rotate more, which allows his shoulders to rotate more, which allows his left arm to travel further. So you can see that there. If I just take away a few of these lines here, so as we can see here, there's not a lot of rotation going on here, which limits the amount of rotation here, which limits the amount the left arm can travel. So what we did was we spent 15-20 minutes trying to give you a feel where in your backswing you felt like you had that right leg straightening quicker, so the right hip was going up and behind you, so there was more of a rotation, but there was also more extension. We talked quite a lot about that in your backswing, and how, if you see here, that your spine arches away from the target, so it's still in flexion, it's not extending enough in your backswing. So if we just take this one back here, this was quite late on. I apologise for the picture quality, obviously it was quite a low sun, so that's the reason for my hand being in the top corner. If we take this one back here, you can see we keep a much more centred position, turning around that, what we call that fixed point, that's upper centre. We turn round that point. It doesn't shift over to the right, it doesn't move over to the left, even though it probably felt that way. And you can see the difference here at P4. The right leg's pretty much straight, so obviously it's stark contrast to what we were seeing here, which allowed the hips to rotate more. You can see there, we can't see as much of your belt buckle, we can pretty much see all of your pelvis here. This one here is definitely rotated. You can see the effect that's had on your shoulder turn. Oh, excuse me. See that there? And then the amount that your left hand has travelled much further back. And as the session went on and we started getting used to it, Now from this position here, we'll just get rid of all these lines. The next move we talked about, so the second part of the lesson, we talked about really then trying to transfer your weight properly back towards the target, so getting the weight going forward. And we talked about the lower centre, so we drew like a line sort of through the top button of your trousers, sorry, and we tried to envisage trying to get that point there to slide as far forward and as quickly as possible, so as much as we could, as quickly as we could. So we'll just make these 3 lines here. Now if we just take this first one here, so we get to the top of your backswing there, you can see the hips have really transferred over to the right hand side, so there's no rotation, a lot of hip slide. And then as we start down, to be fair, you've always tried really hard to get your weight back over, but you can see at this point here that the left leg's already completely straightened. So you're really pushing up out of the ground, butt of the club comes away from the floor, elbows separate, and that one you see we caught a little bit of a top. Now what we worked on from P4 was the thought that as soon as you get to this point here, you were going to try and press down into your left foot, so you were almost going to feel like you had like a Coke can or something underneath your left foot, which would then straight away slide your hips towards the target. You can see from this position here, you can see that the left knee there is really trying to get ahead of your ankle, which was really the main point for us. If we have a look at this one here, if we go back to impact, you can see there that the left knee is not really trying to travel forward anymore. If anything, it's slightly inside your left foot, should I say. So all I'd say is between now and the next time I see you, is you want to almost try and imagine you're doing this. So as soon as you get to the top of your backswing here, if you watch Grant's left knee, watch how it travels outside the ankle there. That'll then allow your hips to push forward quicker and for longer, and as well as getting your weight more into your left hand side, helping you to get a more consistent strike. We also talked about that enabling you to hit the ball on the back side of the circle, so you'd be swinging out at the ball for longer, which, as we saw later on in the session, gave you a higher ball flight, much less cut, even the odd draw shot as well. So good luck with it. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, and I'll speak to you soon. Good luck.